Hello everyone. So for today's discussion, we will have module 3 wherein these are the functional groups. So functional groups are very important in pharmaceutical organic chemistry because they can determine how a molecule behave inside the body. By understanding these functional groups, we can predict how the drugs react, dissolve, and interact with the biological systems. Next, our objectives for this module is for us to be able to understand what is organic molecules and functional groups, and second is to draw the different structures and predict their reactivity. So this means that at the end of our lesson, we must be able to identify the different functional groups and how to predict how they behave chemically. Next, we have the introduction. So we have a total of 50 million known organic compounds, which is a very large number. So each of the compound has different physical properties. What are these different physical properties? We have the boiling point and solubility as an example. What are the other components of each compound? They have different chemical reactivity. So these two different physical properties and different chemical reactivity is the classification of the compounds. So how do chemists organize these compounds? So these chemists classify them into families based on the structure and how these families behave similarly. Let me give you an example for you to be able to understand it more better, okay? So, for example, we have alcohols, wherein these alcohols usually dissolve in water because they contain a OH group. Okay? Well, for the carboxylic acids naman, these are usually acidics. Okay? So, why are they considered as acidics? Because they contain a COOH group on the structure. Okay? So as mentioned in the previous slides that we have a millions of organic compounds, and here on this slide we have the following common compounds. Okay, so each of these following groupings or family has the same structural features which can help the chemist and us to classify these compounds and somewhat give us an idea of their chemical behavior. These unique structural features is what we call the functional groups. Next, let us discuss what is functional group. So, functional group is defined as an atom or group of atoms that gives a molecule its characteristic properties. So, think of it as if it is the personality of the molecule. For example, if a molecule has an OH in its structure or in chemical formula, therefore it behaves as an alcohol, okay? So if it has COOH naman, it behaves like an acid. So this functional group can control the reactivity, the acidity or basicity, and the solubility properties of the compound. Okay, so it controls the three. Still under the functional groups, we have the carbon with multiple bonds, wherein these functional groups contain a carbon to carbon multiple bonds. So we have these different types. We have the alkenes, alkynes, and the arenes. So the alkenes contains double bond, and a good example for this one is the ethene. Okay, so this category is more reactive than a single bond because it is a double bond, of course. Next, we have the alkynes, wherein it contains a triple bond, and since it contains triple bond, it is more reactive than the alkenes since it is a triple bond. And a good example for this one is the acetylene. Okay, last one, we have the arenes, wherein it contains an alternating double and single bonds in a ring. And a good example for this one is a benzene. Okay? In pharmacy, these benzene rings are very common in different drug structures. Okay? Yun yung mga piatos na structures that we will study later on. Okay? Next, still under the functional groups, under the categories of carbon with multiple bonds. So we have discussed in the previous slides that we have these three different classifications wherein these are the alkene, alkyne, and the arenes. And this alkene is the double bond, alkyne triple bond, and kapag arene, they are the aromatic ring. So if you will look for this illustration, how can we describe the differences of the three? So, for the alkene, it is planar or flat, while kapag alkene naman, it is linear or straight. Okay, can you take note, guys? Okay, and then for the arene, these are the cyclic or hexagonal or aromatic ring in shape. So, those are the differences of the three in terms of the molecular shape. So, it will help you guys how to distinguish the three categories based on the shape that is written on the structure ng mga compounds na mga to. If it is an alkene category, alkyne, and arene categories, okay? Kindly take note of that. Thank you. Next categories under the functional groups, we have the carbon with multiple bonded or bond with nitrogen. So if the previous category, carbon to carbon bonds, they have the alkene and alkyne for the double and triple bond. For the carbon that is bonded with nitrogen, kapag double bond, it is called the imines. Okay? Kapag yung carbon nakabond siya sa nitrogen tapos double bonds siya, it is imine category. Kapag naman yung carbon nakabond siya ng triple bond to nitrogen, it is called a nitrile category. Okay, a good example for the imines, we have the benzallanilin. Okay, so it is a classic example of the stable skiff base. While for the nitriles, we have a good example of acetonitrile, wherein it has a chemical formula of CH3CN. Okay, so it is being used as a gold standard or gold solvent that is used in HPLC. Okay, so how can you easily distinguish whether it is nitrile or imines? If you will look for the chemical formula of the compound, you can distinguish that it is in nitrile category if it has a CN in the chemical formula. Like the acetonitrile na meron siyang CH3CN. Meron siyang cyano group in it. Same as sa structure, makikita nyo may nakabond na carbon to nitrogen na triple bond. Okay? Kapag double bond lang siya, automatic it is an imine category. Okay? Next functional group, we have the carbon singly bonded to an electronegative atom, wherein we have these different categories. We have the alkyl halide, the alcohol, the ether, and the phosphate group. So these categories is happening when the carbon is bonded to an electronegative atoms like the oxygen, the nitrogen, or halogens, and the polarity increases. Okay, so let's discuss them by categories. First one is the alkyl halide, wherein it is bonded to halogen or negative X. So this negative X symbolizes these different halogens like fluorine, chlorine, bromine, and iodine. And a good example for this alkyl halide is the chloroform, wherein if you will observe for the chemical formula of the chloroform, it contains or it is bonded with the chlorine. That's why it is considered as an alkyl halide. Okay, so this chloroform is being used as an anesthesia before. So how to distinguish that it is an alkyl halide? if may nakabond na halogen, wherein these halogens, again, are the fluorine, chlorine, bromine, and iodine. Okay? Next, we have the alcohol. So, when we say alcohol, it is bonded to the oxygen of the hydroxyl group. What is this hydroxyl group? This is your negative OH. Pag may nakita kayong negative OH or OH na naka-attach dun sa structure or nakikita kayo ng OH dun sa chemical name, therefore it is considered as a what? Alcohol. Okay? So a good example for alcohol is the ethanol. Okay? Wherein it is being used in disinfectants. Okay? Next category, we have the ether. When you have two carbon atoms that is bonded to the same oxygen, okay? Parang naka-burger si oxygen dun sa dalawang carbon atom compound, okay? A good example for this one is the diethyl ether, okay? So this diethyl ether is being used as previously being used as anesthetic. Okay? So how to distinguish that it is an ether? Kapag nakaipit or nasa center lagi si oxygen tas may dalawang CH group dun sa side, both sides ni oxygen, automatic it is categorized as an ether. Okay? And the last category we have is the phosphate group, wherein it is bonded to the oxygen of a phosphate group. Kapag sinabi natin phosphate group, it is the PO. Okay? Negative PO. Kapag meron kayong nakitang PO, dun sa chemical name or dun sa structure, therefore it is categorized as a carbon signally bonded to an electronegative atom phosphate group. Okay? And this phosphate group is very important kasi in biology. And a good example for this phosphate group, we have the ATP that contains phosphate group. Next slide, we have the functional groups, carbon singly bonded to an electronegative atom. So we have the alkyl, alcohol, ether, and phosphate that was discussed as different categories under this functional group. So as you can see from this illustration, we can differentiate the four through this illustration. Okay, so if you will look for the alkyl halide, may naka-attach na Cl or chlorine, which is a halogen. That's why it is categorized as alkyl halide, and it is called haloalkane. Okay? And then, for the second one, meron naka-attach na OH. Pag meron kang nakitang OH, automatic it is a alcohol group. The third one naman, naka-burger si oxygen. Yun yung sinabi ko kanina, pag may naka-burger na oxygen on both sides, therefore it is categorized as an ether. And for the last one, as you can see, it is highlighted in the pink font color. Meron siyang phosphate. That's why it is categorized or meron siyang presence ng PO. That's why it is categorized as a phosphate category under carbon singly bonded to an electronegative atom. Okay? Still under the third functional group, it is a continuation of the carbon singly bonded to electronegative atoms. So for this one, we have the amines, thiols, and sulfides and disulfides. Okay? So for the amines, it is bonded to nitrogen. So what is the difference of amines to the imines and nitriles? Kapag amine, it is single bonded to nitrogen. Kapag imines, double bonded kasi siya. Kapag nitriles, it is triple bonded to nitrogen. For this one, from the title of the category of this functional group, it is singly bonded to electronegative atom. So for this one, if you saw a compound wherein it has a single bond to nitrogen, therefore it is an amine category. Okay? A good example for this one are the different drugs that we have like antihistamines. Okay? Kapag meron kayong nakita NH2 and R2, ayan. So, they are categorized as amines. Okay? Next, we have the thiols. So, how to distinguish that it is a thiols category? If it is bonded to the SH group. Okay? It is bonded dun sa sulfur group. Okay? A good example for this one is the cysteine amino acid. These thiols kasi are very similar to, or they are similar to alcohol, but the difference is that it contains a sulfur. Okay? They have same specifications. The difference is just that it has a sulfur element in it. Okay? So, that's why they are categorized as thiols. Okay? So, pag may nakita kayong chemical name or structure na may naka-attach na sulfur, therefore, it is categorized as what? A thiols. Okay? Next, we have the sulfides. So, from its term, you have already the idea on what element is attached in it. Okay? So, for this one, if the ether naka-burger si oxygen sa kanya, for this one, si sulfur naka-burger dun sa dalawang carbon atoms. Okay? So, yung formula doon or yung parang clue ninyo is the C-S-C. CSC. Okay? Clear? So, a good example for this one, or how to distinguish, basta't meron kayong nakita na parang naka-burger si sulfur dun sa dalawang carbon atom. Okay? So, for the disulfides naman, it is bonded to two sulfurs that are joined together. So, for this one naman, from its term, disulfides, may dalawang sulfur na naka-attach dun sa structure or present dun sa chemical name. Okay? Next slide, we have the continuation of the carbon singly bonded to an electronegative atom. So this illustration illustrates the different categories that we have discussed on the previous slide, wherein these are the amine, thiol, sulfide, and disulfide. So as you can see, for the amine, it is singly bonded with the nitrogen. Yun yung sinabi ko sa inyo kanina na kapag may nakita kayo nitrogen tapos singly bonded siya, therefore, it is categorized as an amine category. Okay? For the thiol, meron siya SH or the sulfide group. Ayan. So, therefore, it is a thiol. Okay? Categorized as a thiols. Okay? And then, for the sulfide, I have mentioned that if you saw a sulfur that is in the burger form of a 2-carbon compound, therefore it is categorized as a sulfide. And if you saw a compound consisting 2 sulfur in it, therefore it is categorized as a disulfide. Okay, copy. Next, we have the fourth functional group, wherein these are the carbon-oxygen double bond that is bonded with the carbonyl group. So, as we all know kasi, carbonyl group is the fundamental functional group where the carbon atom is double bonded to an oxygen atom. And it acts as the reactive center for many organic molecules. So, as we all know, oxygen is an electron puller because oxygen is more electronegative than the carbon. Therefore, it strongly attracts the shared electrons in the double bond towards itself. In terms of the polarity, this unequal sharing of the electrons creates a dipole or the two opposite poles. So, yung oxygen negative and carbon positive, for the oxygen negative, it becomes partially negative because it has a higher density of electrons. Okay? Well, for the carbon, it becomes partially positive because it is an electron deficient. Okay? So, why it is reactive? Because the carbon atom has a partial positive charge and it acts like a magnet for other molecules or ions that are looking for a positive center to attack. Wherein, under this slide, we have the acetone as an example. So the polarity of these acetones allows it to interact with the many different substance. That's why acetone is very effective as a solvent, okay, to many different substances. Okay. Still on the fourth functional group, wherein these are the carbon-oxygen double bond bonded with the carbonyl group. Okay, so for the different categories, we have the following. So we have the aldehydes, ketones, carboxylic acid, and the esters. Okay, so how are we going to classify them? What are the clues for easier distinction of these different categories? So for aldehydes, it is written in there that it must have at least one hydrogen bonded to carbon double bond oxygen. So kindly look for a hydrogen atom that is directly attached to the carbon double bond to oxygen. This is usually happening or happens at the end of the carbon chain. Okay? So kapag meron kayo nakitang hydrogen atom na naka-attach dun sa carbon double bond oxygen, therefore, the category of this compound is aldehydes. Okay? So next we have the ketones. It must have at least two carbon atoms that is bonded to the carbon double bond oxygen. Okay? So for this one, can we look for the two carbon atoms that is directly attached to the carbon double bond oxygen. The carbonyl group is sandwiched in the middle of the chain. So kindly always check the middle part of the chain kung merong two carbons na naka-attach or naka-sandwich dun sa carbon double bond oxygen. Clear? Next, we have the carboxylic acid wherein you must have a negative or you must have an OH group bonded to the carbon double bond oxygen. So for this one, kindly look for the hydroxyl group or OH that is attached to the carbon double bond oxygen. Okay? And last category is the ester. It is written in there that you must have an ether like other oxygen bonded to the carbon double bond oxygen. So for this one, look for an ether-like oxygen wherein this is the oxygen that is attached to another carbon that is attached to the carbon double bond oxygen. Okay? Copy. Still under the fourth functional group wherein this is the carbon-oxygen double bond. So to have the summary of all the categories from aldehydes to ester, kindly take note the following. Kapag aldehyde, ang kailangan may naka-attach na hydrogen dun sa carbon double bond oxygen. Kapag ketone, there must always have or it will always have two carbons. Okay? Kapag carboxylic acid, meron kang hydroxyl group or yung OH group. Okay? Kapag ester, kailangan meron kang naka-attach na oxygen and carbon dun sa carbon double bond oxygen. Okay? Yes. In terms of the chemical name naman, what are the clues? Kapag aldehyde, meron ka dapat CHO dun sa dulo ng chemical formula. Kapag ketone naman, kailangan meron kang carbon double bond oxygen dun sa gitna ng chemical structure tsaka chemical name. Kapag carboxylic acid naman, nag-e-end yung chemical name sa COOH. Kapag esters naman, nag-e-end yung chemical name sa COOR. Depende kung saan yung R nakadepende kung anong element siya naka-attach. Okay? So as you can see on these illustrations, we have the following example for each category of carbon-oxygen double bond. Okay? So for the aldehyde, ayan, as mentioned a while ago, dapat may at least isang hydrogen na naka-attach dun sa carbon double bond oxygen. And as you can see, merong hydrogen na naka-attach dyan. Okay? Next, for the ketone naman, as mentioned a while ago, there must be two carbons. And if i-count ninyo kung ilang carbons yung present dito sa sample ng ketone that we have in these illustrations, we have a total of 3 carbons. Yung isang carbon naka-attach siya sa oxygen, so yan yung carbonyl group. Okay? So, yung 2 carbon present siya, therefore it is positive for a ketone category. Next, we have the carboxylic acid. So, as mentioned a while ago on this slide, I have stated that there must be an hydroxyl group present in the structure or in the chemical formula. And as you can see on the example of the carboxylic acid, there's the presence of the OH. Yan yung naka-green OH. Therefore, it is categorized as what? Carboxylic acid. And this carbon to double bond oxygen, that is your carbonyl group. Clear? And last is the esters. As mentioned a while ago, there must be an oxygen and carbon that is attached on the carbonyl group. And as you can see on this image or illustration, the green font on the ester example is an O and C, wherein these are the oxygen and the carbon attached to the carbonyl group of carbon double bond oxygen. That's why it is categorized as an ester. Carbonyl oxygen double bond. Okay, so those are the examples of the functional groups or the 4 functional groups that we have, wherein these are the carbon oxygen double bond, wherein it is attached to the carbonyl group. Continuation of the 4th functional group, wherein this is the carbon-oxygen double bond that is bonded to the carbonyl group. So for this one, we have the following categories, continuation of the previous previous categories of carbon-oxygen double bond that is bonded to the carbonyl group. So for this one, we have the thioesters, amide, and the acid chlorides. Okay? So how to distinguish whether they are thioesters, amide, and acid chlorides? So kapag sinabi natin thioesters, they have a sulfide-like sulfur bonded to the oxygen to the carbonyl group. Well, for the amide, it has an amine like nitrogen bonded to the carbonyl group. And then kapag acid chlorides, it has a chlorine bonded to the carbonyl group. Okay? So kapag thioesters, meron nakabond na sulfide or sulfur. Kapag naman acid chlorides, meron nakabond na chlorine. Kapag amide, meron nakabond na nitrogen dun sa carbonyl group. Basta't meron kayong nakitang carbonyl group tapos may naka-attach na sulfur, thioesters. Carbonyl group na may naka-attach na nitrogen, amide yon. Kapag meron kayong nakitang carbonyl group na may naka-attach na chlorine, it is an acid chloride. Okay? Kailangan merong presence ng carbonyl group for you to be able to classify them as thioethers, amide, acid chlorides, aldehydes, ketones, carboxylic acid, and esters. Kailangan merong carbonyl group or yung C double bond to O or the carbon double bond oxygen. Clear? Next, we have these illustrations of the remaining carbon-oxygen double bond that is bonded to the carbonyl group, wherein we have this thioesters, amide, and acid chloride. So again, how to distinguish whether they are thioesters, amide, and acid chloride is that you must check if there's the presence of the carbonyl group or yung C double bond to O or carbon double bond to oxygen. Okay? So as you can see on this illustration, dito muna tayo kay esters. Okay? As you can see, there's the presence of this carbon double bond oxygen. Am I right? And then there's the presence of this sulfur. That's why it is categorized as thioesters. Clear? And then next we have the amide example wherein, as you can see on the screen, on this illustration, there is the presence of the carbonyl group, that is the carbon double bond to oxygen, and there's this presence of the nitrogen. That's why it is categorized as an amide. Okay? And last one, we have the acid chloride. You have to check if there's the presence of the carbonyl group. Yes, it has. This one, okay, the one with the pink font of oxygen that is in there, wherein there's the attachment of the chlorine on the other side. Okay, that's why it is categorized as an acid chloride. Copy? Did you get the point on how to distinguish whether it is a carbon oxygen double bond that is attached to the carbonyl group? Okay, there's no other way for you to be able to or there's no shortcut for this topic, because what you have to do is to memorize the different functional group for you to be able to have an easier way of distinguishing what functional groups they are. The only way is for you to memorize them, okay? But there are some clues, that's why I'm mentioning them for you to be able to memorize it and for easier distinction of these different functional groups. Last functional group, we have the sulfur-oxygen double bond, wherein there's the presence of the sulfonyl group. So for the category of this functional group, we have the sulfoxides, wherein there is the requirement of having two carbon atom that is bonded to the sulfonyl group, or the S double bond O, or sulfur bonded double bonded with the oxygen. Okay, so what you have to do is that you have to check first if there's the presence of the sulfonyl group, or S double bond O, and then after checking that if it is positive with the sulfonyl group, what you have to do is to check if there's the two carbon atom that is attached to the sulfonyl group. And if it is also positive for the second one, therefore it is categorized as the sulfoxides. Okay, clear? Next, we have these slides wherein, as you can see, these are the major organic chemistry functional groups, wherein most of that is listed in here is yung mga diniscuss a while ago, okay? So, kindly memorize this one, pero kung natandaan nyo na sila because we have already discussed them on this topic, that is good. Pero kung hindi pa, you can use this as a summary of everything that I have discussed on this topic, okay? Kailangan alam nyo to before tayo mag-proceed with the next module, okay? Before we proceed, you must you have to make sure that you know already all these basic and major functional groups that is used in organic chemistry. Okay, if you do not know this, it will be difficult for you to proceed for the next modules. Okay, so kindly memorize this slide or kindly review everything that I have discussed on this topic. Okay, so for the exercise, okay, so for the number 1, 2, and 3, as you can see the images on this slide, what you can observe is the presence of the double, single bond, and triple bond on these three structures, okay? So if we will think of that, what functional they are is the carbon with multiple bonds and single bonds, okay? So for the multiple bonds kasi there's these categories that we call alkene and alkyne. And for the single bonds, of course, it is a carbon with single bonds. So let us classify each one of them, okay? So for the number 1, as you can see, the structure contains a 5 carbons with a 12 hydrogen that is attached to this 5 carbons. So therefore, the chemical formula of this compound is C5H12. Okay, and the name of this one is pentane since it is an alkane with a 5 carbon. That's why pentane siya. Okay. Then for the second one, we have this example wherein there's the presence of the triple bond. That's why it is classified as an alkene category under the carbon with multiple bonds. And since it is an alkyne, the name of this compound is ethene. Okay, that's why the chemical formula for this one is C2H12 since we have two carbon in this structure with a 2 hydrogen that is attached to the 2 carbon. Okay? And for the third one, we have the alkene, wherein it is a category under a carbon with multiple bonds. And as you can see from the structure, it is a double bond. Okay? It is a carbon to carbon double bond. Okay? So, for the name of this compound, it is named ethene or ethylene with the chemical formula of C2H4 since we have two carbon in there wherein there are 4 hydrogen that is attached to the two carbons. Okay, that's it. Okay, so for this one, number 4, 5, 6 of the exercise, no, or practice activity. So for these numbers, as you can see, I have already encircled the number one that you have to check for you to be able to distinguish the functional group of this structure, and that is the presence of the carbonyl group. So all of these three structures are under the carbon-oxygen double bond that is attached to the carbonyl group. Okay, so the first one is classified as an aldehyde because there's the presence of the CHO that is attached to the carbonyl group. And the name of the structure for the number 4 is cinnamaldehyde, or it has this or also known as the 3-phenylprop-2-enal, okay, with the chemical formula of C9H8O, or the condensed structure of C6H5 that is attached to the CH double bond CH bonded with the CHO. Okay? Then for the number 5, we have the category ketone because of the presence of the ketone group. Okay? So, for the number 5, it is named as 2-butanone or the methyl ethyl ketone, no? So, for the chemical formula, it is C4H8O, or the condensed form is CH3CO, CH2CH3. Okay? There's the presence of the, or ano yung sinabi ko kanina sa discussion? Yung carbonyl group is naka-burger dun sa dalawang hydrogen or carbon bonds. Okay? So, for the number 6 naman, it is a carboxylic acid. There must be the presence of the COOH on the structure. Diba? Yun yung sinabi ko kanina. So, for this one, it is categorized, of course, under the carbon-oxygen double bond or the carbonyl group. And it is named, or the name of this structure is the propanoic acid or the CH3CH2COOH. That's why we have distinguished it as the carboxylic acid category because of the presence of the COOH on the structure and in the chemical formula or chemical name. Okay? Or the other chemical name is C2H5COOH. Okay? Copy. Next, we have number 7, 8, and 9. So, these three structures are under the functional group of carbon-oxygen double bond, wherein they are attached to the carbonyl group. And if you will observe these three structure, meron silang presence ng carbonyl group. That's why na-distinguish natin sila that they are under this functional group. Okay? So, yung mga naka-red circle, that is the carbonyl group or the C double bond O or the carbon double bond oxygen. Okay? And then, we have these different categories under this carbon-oxygen double bond, right? So, the classification or the categories under this functional group, for the number 7, it is classified as an ester because the carbonyl group is attached to the OR group wherein yun yung OCH3. Okay? And this compound is a clopidogrel derivative. Okay? Then for the number 8, as you can see, the one that is encircled in red is the carbonyl group. And the one that is attached on the carbonyl group is in nitrogen. That's why it is classified under the category of an amide under the carbon-oxygen double bond that is attached to the carbonyl group. And the name of this compound is acetamide. Okay? Last number is the number 9. We have this structure. So as you can see, naka-encircle ng red si carbonyl group. And the one that is attached on the carbonyl group is an OR group. Okay? Therefore, it is also an ester. Okay? So the classification of the functional group of this number 9 is a carbon-oxygen double bond carbonyl group because it is attached to the carbonyl group. And the name of this compound is ethyl butyrate. Okay? So why is it classified as an ester? Because it is bonded to an OR group. Okay? Clear? So that ends our sample activity, just to test if you have observed what we have discussed on this module. So after this activity, you will have your individual activity for me to be able to assess if you truly understand our discussion for today. Okay? So kindly prepare one whole sheet of paper for the individual activity. Okay? So after what we have done, we have discussed and also we have practiced what we have learned. For this one, you have to do it alone, okay? So kindly get a one whole sheet of yellow paper and answer this structures, okay? So you have to identify what functional group it is and what specific category on that functional group each of the structure is included. Okay? So, for example, dun sa mga sinagutan kanina, di ba, we have answered um, what functional group siya. For example, carbon with multiple bonds. Tapos, ang functional, yun yung functional group. Tapos yung category niya is alkene or alkyne. Ganun lang. You don't have to give the name of the structure. You just have to identify the functional group and what specific category under that functional group. Okay? So for this slide, kindly answers number 1 to 6. Okay? So for this slide, same instruction from number 1 to 6, you have to identify the functional group and what specific category on that functional group. No need for you to write what is the name of the structure and what is the chemical name or formula. Just the functional group and what specific category they are included or the structure is included. Okay? So, for the slides, it's number 7 to 11 in a one whole sheet of paper. Okay? Again, same instruction for number 1 to 11. Ganon din yung gagawin ninyo for this slide. Okay? So, this is number 12 to 14 naman. Okay? So, same instruction. This will be the last structure that you have to identify, number 15, 16, and 17. Okay? So, good luck. So, kindly make sure to check your answers, no? For you to be able to perfect this activity. Okay? Good luck. So that's the end of this Module 3 discussion. I hope you can now distinguish, or you know how to classify the different functional groups after we have done, or after we have discussed this Module 3. Okay? So thank you for listening. Bye-bye.